Everybody needs a bubble machine. And I mean everybody, not just DJs, civilians. I've been using bubble machines for about 10 years. And I can tell you that it will make you a rock star on Halloween. It will make you a big hit with your nieces and nephews or grandkids or kids or your daycare center or as a photographer or whatever. These things are magical. For trick or treat, we can put up the scariest decorations, do the scariest music, create fog, create the coolest light scenes. This is still the star. Turn on the bubbles. Kids will skip blocks of houses with full-size candy bars to get to the bubbles. This machine is a big upgrade from my old one. We're going to have a look at both of them today, side by side. We're going to do an unboxing and test them out. Like I said, you don't have to be a DJ to have one of these. In fact, I can see daycare centers having these. Anybody who has kids or entertains children, use them outdoors. It's cool. I never liked the idea of using this indoors because you can create a slippery surface somewhere. But outdoors, hey man, no problem. This is the power supply to charge this thing because again, it's battery powered. So you can kind of put it anywhere you want. Just like the old one, we have the remote control and the remote receiver, so that hasn't changed. We'll get rid of some of this packing material here. Pull the sucker out of the box. There's a manual in there, but I'm not going to look at that right now. Okay, this machine is physically larger than the old ADJ one. The Eliminator one's bigger. Quite a bit bigger. Wow. Dual fans. It seems shorter, but wider. Oh my gosh. You've got twice the bubble action in here. Hold on a second. Let me get the ADJ machine so you can see it in comparison. Both battery power machines, both bubble machines. You can see that, I don't know, maybe this one's a little longer, but maybe not. How does that work? Nope, about the same really. See, look at this. About the same as far as depth goes and such. But here's where it gets crazy. This is your bubble output, and you got this wheel on here with 2 rows of things to make bubbles, whatever you call those wands. Look at this. Wow. You've got 4 rows. It's double the size. 2 wheels with 2 rows per wheel. That's cool. Now, look at the back. You got 2 fans on this one. You only got 1 fan on this one. That makes sense. You're blowing twice the bubbles. The new machine is obviously physically taller. There's a reason for that. But before I show you that and a couple other little dumb things, this is neat. This little spout on the front of this machine. The reason that's cool is you load the bubbles on this machine, or you fill it right here in the front. You just dump it in here. When you're done, you've got excess bubble juice in here, and you need to pour it out like this. Well, on the old machine, there was no spout for it. You kind of had to tilt it to the side and do this and hope for the best. But it gives you a nice spout here to dump it back into the bottle. Now, just like the old machine, the way it's designed is there's a crease right here before we get back here to the fans and electronics. And there's a line here to show you how deep to fill the bubble machine. The crease is to keep the bubble juice from going back here where the fans and electronics are. So when you are using this machine and you need to transport it, if there's bubble juice in it, be sure to pick it up and hold it level, because if you tip it back, you can get bubble juice back in here, and that's a drag. It's messy and gross. So my advice would be, don't transport it at all with bubble juice in it. When you're done with the machine, just pick it up and tip it out, use the spout, and dump the remaining bubble juice back into the bottle. Now I want to go to the back of this real quick and just show you some stuff that I really like that's different. The reason it's taller is because here you can see on the old one we had the fan and the electronics right next to it. And like I said, if you get any kind of juice back here, it causes a mess. Now the good news is this is all sealed on the old one, so you're not going to have to worry about damaging anything. But for peace of mind, it's nice they've put all the controls and electronics on top. And of course your fan motors are here in the middle. So the chances of getting any kind of bubble juice, even from splashing over onto the electronics, is greatly reduced having everything up here. While we're getting it set up, I wanted to show you a few things here on the back. This is the remote receiver. And what this basically is a 1/4 inch jack that plugs in right here. This is how I do it. I take this and I run it through the handle of the machine up here. And then I plug this sucker in right here. Now I would recommend that each time you use this, you actually unplug this. If you don't, you could risk breaking this plug off. And the reason I say that is because I did it on my 80J model. Always unplug this. Actually, my kids did it, but we won't get into that today. So there's that. So the remote control looks like this. It's a simple on-off button. The range is really good. Like I can do it from across the street, whatever. I'll turn this on. And the remote, it turns it on. That turns it off. So it's simple. First button on. Second button off. Many Halloweens I've had this in my pocket. No matter where I am in the neighborhood, I can turn this on and off. So, something else that's cool about this is that it has a replaceable battery. There are 2 screws here. Actually, thumb screws. You can take them out. This one out here. I'll take this one out here. There's a notice right here that says, please refer to the manual to replace the battery. I can tell you this, I've never replaced the battery in my old bubble machine, and I've had it for the better part of 10 years. So I'm not saying that's a concern, but this whole thing comes out at this point. You can get in here and replace the battery, which is nice. It's serviceable in that regard. But again, I've never had a problem with it. And it holds charges incredibly well. The last time I used my old bubble machine was Halloween, and it's now the middle of March. It's after St. Patrick's Day, and I've still got charge in that machine. And I used it for Halloween for several hours. So it's a good battery. I can't imagine you guys are going to be replacing this battery anytime soon. Now this is a weird thing that I dig, and I wanted to show you. You charge it with this DC plug. Notice it's green right now. I just unplugged it. So when I plug this in right here, it's got a little light on it. I've never seen this on an 80J project. I've seen it on some Colorado Sun and Light stuff, but not this. This is a really cool little piece. You plug it in here to charge the unit, and it turns red. That means this unit is charging. When this turns green, you're charged. That's a cool feature. The old one didn't have that. You had to kind of guess when it was charged or keep, checking the indicator to see what the bars were. But on this, you get a light, and that's a cool feature. I know I'm going a lot more in depth with this than I maybe normally would with the bubble machine, but we should be all set up. If I hit this button right here, comes on. This button right here goes off. Let's go ahead and put some bubble juice in here, and hopefully the dog won't completely screw up our video. He insisted on being out here. Excuse the backyard. We haven't done our spring cleaning yet. So, this is a real awkward position for me to do this in one-handed, but you pour the bubble juice directly into the front of the sucker. I'm going to start with that much bubble juice. I'm going to put a little bit of bubble juice in the other machine too, so you can kind of see the output for comparison. First time for me doing this, so I'm pretty curious myself. We have a lot of wind today. That's a lot of bubbles, guys. Holy man, look at that. And quick. On the old machine, it took a little while to kind of fill a space with bubbles. With this one, real quick. And we've got wind today, so it's kind of blowing all over the place. Bubbles. Now here's what I was talking about when it comes to putting the juice back in the bottle, the excess stuff. Again, don't tip it backwards. Forward is good, backward bad. You kind of have to tip it sideways on the old one and do this. Kind of made a little bit of a mess there. The spout on the new one, I think, is going to make this a lot easier. Now, I'm unplugging my remote thing like I said I should for transport. And I'm going to see how this spout works. It's going to be a lot easier to do. Oh, and it is. Oh, that's so cool. It's a dumb little thing. It just made all the difference. I know the wind's going to blow it. Wow, it's filling the area pretty quick. We're going to loft into the street. So that's the new Eliminator Bubbletron EXL Go. Like I said, yeah, DJ's fine, but anybody could use one of these. And I think everybody needs one if you want to entertain kids. Just have some fun or confuse hipsters in your neighborhood. The coolest little thing to have. People don't expect it when you're having a party or whatever. So that's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.